let's talk about something revolutionary, loves. Something that will change absolutely everything about how you move through relationships, dating, and even your own inner peace. I'm talking about mastering the art of detachment. Now, before your mind jumps to cold shoulders and emotional walls, let me stop you right there. This isn't about shutting down or building fortresses around your heart. Oh no, darling. This is about the most liberating kind of freedom imaginable. Imagine, if you will, a radical transformation that goes beyond traditional relationship advice. This concept of detachment is not a mere strategy, but a profound philosophical approach to living that challenges everything you've been taught about love, connection, and self-worth. It's a journey that requires courage, introspection, and a willingness to completely reimagine your relationship with yourself and others. The societal narratives we've been fed, that love means losing yourself, that relationships are about completion rather than connection, are deeply flawed. They've taught us to seek validation externally, to measure our worth through the lens of another's perception, creating a cycle of dependency that strips away our personal power and authenticity. Consider how deeply ingrained these patterns are. We've been conditioned to believe that love is about holding on tightly, about proving our worth, about contorting ourselves into impossible shapes to be deemed lovable. But what if I told you that true love, both self-love and love for others, is about spaciousness, about creating room to breathe, to grow, to exist fully and completely as your authentic self? This is the revolutionary perspective I'm inviting you to explore, a perspective that challenges everything you've been taught about relationships and personal value. Imagine a world where your sense of worth isn't tethered to another person's perception or validation. A world where you can love deeply, passionately, but without the suffocating grip of desperation. This is the essence of true detachment, a radical form of self-love that transforms not just how you date, but how you exist in the world. The freedom I'm describing comes when you stop white-knuckling people, outcomes, and situations like your survival depends on them. It's about releasing the death grip of control and understanding that your peace is not negotiable. That to say, let's dive deeper into this transformative concept. Detachment is not about emotional numbness or creating distance. It's about cultivating a sense of internal stability that remains unshaken by external circumstances. It's understanding that your worth is not determined by someone else's ability to appreciate or validate you. Imagine building such a profound sense of self that external validation becomes a pleasant bonus, not a desperate necessity. This means developing an internal landscape so rich, so fulfilling, that no single relationship can destabilize your sense of self. The journey of detachment is truly a journey of radical self-acceptance. It requires you to unlearn years of conditioning that told you your value is measured by your ability to please others, to conform, to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. It's about recognizing that your emotions are valid, your needs are important, and your boundaries are sacred. This isn't a passive state of acceptance, but an active, powerful stance of self-respect that radiates confidence and attracts genuine, healthy connections. This journey is about reaching that sacred place where you can look at someone and think, I choose you rather than I need you. It's a profound shift from scarcity to abundance, from fear to empowerment. When you truly embody detachment, you recognize that your worth is not determined by someone else's ability to see it. You are a complete, magnificent universe unto yourself. Relationships are a beautiful addition to your life, not the center of your existence. So grab your favorite journal, light that candle you've been saving for a special occasion, and let's unravel this together. Because once this truth clicks for you, you'll never again hand someone else the power to dictate your worth or your peace. This is more than just advice. It's an invitation to a radical reimagining of love and self-worth. By embracing detachment, you're not just changing how you approach relationships. You're fundamentally transforming your entire approach to life. You're choosing yourself, your growth, your peace, over the temporary comfort of fitting into someone else's expectations. You're declaring that your worth is inherent, not something to be earned or validated by external sources. Welcome to Lizessence. I'm Liz, and this is where standards are non-negotiable and crowns stay polished. Today, we're diving deep into the art of detachment. Because let's be brutally honest here, how many of you have ever felt that sickening twist in your stomach when he takes just a little too long to reply? That creeping dread when a situationship starts showing cracks in its foundation? That obsessive, all-consuming need to control how someone perceives you or how a relationship unfolds? So, let's peel back the layers of this deeply ingrained emotional pattern that many of us have experienced. This isn't just about a simple text message or a momentary anxiety. This is about a profound psychological mechanism that has been years in the making. Our attachment styles are complex tapestries woven from childhood experiences, past traumas, societal conditioning, and deeply personal fears. Each moment of anxiety, each obsessive thought, each desperate attempt to control is a symptom of something much deeper. A fundamental disconnect from our own inherent worth and a learned behavior of seeking external validation. Consider the intricate psychological landscape that creates these patterns. From a young age, we're taught that love is something to be earned, something fragile that can slip away at any moment. We internalize messages that our worth is conditional, dependent on our ability to please, to be perfect, to contort ourselves into whatever shape we believe will make someone stay. These aren't just passing thoughts, they're deeply embedded scripts that play out in our most intimate relationships, creating a cycle of anxiety, people pleasing, and self abandonment that can feel impossible to break. I see those nodding heads, and trust me, I've been there too, loves. I know that painful dance of constantly trying to be perfect, of contorting yourself into impossible shapes, white knuckling your phone, analyzing every single tone and punctuation mark. I've spent countless nights dissecting text messages, trying to decode hidden meanings, twisting myself into knots, trying to be whatever I thought would make someone stay. It's an exhausting performance, a soul crushing marathon of people pleasing and self abandonment that leaves you completely depleted. Let me take you deeper into this experience, beyond the surface level anxiety. This isn't just about overthinking or being too sensitive. This is about a profound disconnection from self that manifests as an almost traumatic need for external validation. Each analyzed text message, each moment of waiting, each internal negotiation is a symptom of a much larger wound. It's a desperate attempt to control the uncontrollable, to predict the unpredictable, to secure a love that feels perpetually uncertain. Imagining truth that will alter everything. Attachment is the silent killer of allure. When you're clinging, you're not magnetic, you're broadcasting desperation. And desperation, that's the exact opposite of power. It's a repellent that pushes away exactly what you're trying so hard to keep. The more you chase, the more they retreat. The more you desperately try to control, the more chaotic and unpredictable things become. Let's unpack this profound dynamic with more nuance. Desperation is energy, a potent, palpable energy that communicates far more than words ever could. It's a frequency of lack, of neediness, of fundamental unworthiness that people can sense instinctively. When you're operating from a place of desperation, you're essentially telling the world, and potential partners, that you don't believe you're worthy of love unless you perform, unless you contort, unless you make yourself small and digestible. So today, we're flipping the entire script. We're talking about how to care deeply, even love fiercely, while still maintaining the grace to walk away the moment you're not being valued. That, my darlings, is the sacred art of detachment. This isn't about playing games or creating artificial distance. This is about cultivating such a profound sense of self-worth that your peace becomes non-negotiable. It's about understanding that true magnetism comes from a place of fullness, not emptiness. True detachment begins with this earth-shattering realization. You cannot and will never control how someone loves you. This is a truth so fundamental yet so difficult to internalize. You can't negotiate desire, you can't debate your worth into someone's consciousness. You can't rearrange yourself into whatever shape you think will make them stay. It's a humbling and liberating understanding that sets you free from the exhausting cycle of people-pleasing and self-doubt. Let's dive deeper into this transformative understanding. Control is an illusion, a comforting narrative we tell ourselves to manage our deep-seated fears of abandonment and unworthiness. We believe that if we just say the right things, look the right way, be the right version of ourselves, we can somehow manipulate the complex, unpredictable landscape of human connection. But human emotions are not mathematical equations. They cannot be solved through strategic maneuvering or calculated performances. Imagine the immense psychological freedom that comes from truly accepting this truth. It's not about resignation or giving up hope. It's about releasing the burden of impossible expectations. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you create space for genuine connection, for authentic love that doesn't require constant performance or strategic positioning. You invite relationships that see you, not the version of you that you think they want to see. All you can control, all you will ever truly have power over is your energy, your boundaries, your decision to stay in alignment with your worth, or walk away with your head high. This isn't about becoming cold or unfeeling. No, this is about becoming so deeply connected to yourself that external validation becomes a nice to have, not a need to have. Detachment isn't about not caring. It's about caring more about your peace than their potential. It's about looking at another human being and thinking, I adore you, but I adore myself more. This is a radical act of self-love that requires continuous practice and profound self-awareness. It's about developing an internal landscape so rich, so nurturing, that no external relationship can destabilize your sense of self. Your boundaries become not walls, but flexible membranes that allow genuine connection while protecting your core essence. You learn to love deeply without losing yourself, to be vulnerable without being volatile, to be open without being desperate. Consider the profound shift this represents in how we traditionally conceptualize love and relationships. We've been taught that love means sacrifice, that true connection requires losing ourselves. But what if love is actually about maintaining and celebrating the self? What if the most powerful form of love is one that honors both individual autonomy and deep connection? This is the revolutionary perspective of detachment, a perspective that challenges everything we've been conditioned to believe about relationships. And when you truly embody that energy, that's when the entire dynamic shifts. That's when they start scrambling to keep you. Isn't it funny how that works? The moment you stop chasing is the moment you become chased. The second you stop begging for breadcrumbs is when they show up with the whole bakery. Detachment isn't a tactic, it's a transformation. It's a complete rewiring of how you see yourself and your relationships. It's understanding that your worth is not negotiable and your peace is not up for debate. This isn't some magical formula or manipulative strategy. This is about fundamental energetic shifts. When you genuinely stop needing someone's validation, when you truly embody your own worth, you become magnetic in a way that transcends traditional attraction. You radiate a frequency of completeness, of self-respect, of unshakable confidence that becomes irresistibly attractive. It's not about playing hard to get, it's about being so fully got by yourself that external validation becomes secondary. Here's exactly how you practice detachment in your daily life, loves. Route 1. Stop future tripping. Live firmly in the now, not in the what-ifs or maybes. The present moment is the only place where real connection lives. When you constantly project into an imagined future, you rob yourself of the beauty and potential of the present. Each moment is a gift, an opportunity to connect authentically, to feel deeply, to experience life in its raw, unfiltered state. Let's unpack this concept of present moment awareness with profound depth. Future tripping is more than just idle worry. It's a sophisticated psychological defense mechanism that keeps us trapped in a cycle of anxiety and anticipated pain. Our brains are designed to protect us, to anticipate potential threats. But in matters of love and connection, this protective instinct becomes a prison. When we constantly project into hypothetical futures, we're essentially creating elaborate narratives that have no basis in current reality. These mental constructions are born from past wounds, childhood traumas, and learned patterns of fear. Imagine the incredible liberation that comes from truly inhabiting the present moment. It's not about dismissing future possibilities, but about creating a spacious awareness that allows life to unfold naturally. This practice of present moment living is a radical act of self-love. It requires cultivating a deep trust in yourself, in your ability to navigate whatever comes, and in the inherent beauty of uncertainty. You're learning to dance with life instead of trying to control its every step. 2. Release the addiction to guarantees. Love is always a risk, but so is anything worth having. Certainty is an illusion. Trust in your ability to handle whatever comes is real power. We often seek guarantees because we're afraid of pain, of rejection, of the unknown. But true strength lies in embracing uncertainty, in knowing that no matter what happens, you have the resilience to navigate it with grace and self-respect. Dive deeper into this concept of uncertainty, and you'll discover a profound truth about human connection. Our desperate quest for guarantees is fundamentally a response to deep-seated fears of abandonment and unworthiness. We believe that if we could just secure some magical promise, some ironclad commitment, we could protect ourselves from potential pain. But life and love doesn't work that way. Every connection is a beautiful, risky dance of vulnerability and courage. Consider the immense personal growth that comes from releasing the need for absolute certainty. It's about developing an internal stability so profound that external uncertainties no longer shake your sense of self. You're cultivating a radical form of self trust that says, I am capable of handling whatever comes my way. My worth is not determined by external outcomes, but by my ability to show up authentically and love courageously. 3. Redirect your focus inward. Are you happy? Are you growing? Are you at peace? These are your only true metrics, not his attention, not his validation. Your internal landscape is the most important terrain you'll ever explore. Invest in yourself, your passions, your growth, your healing. When you become the center of your own universe, you become irresistibly magnetic. This inward focus is nothing short of a revolutionary approach to personal development and relationships. Most of us have been conditioned to seek validation externally, to measure our worth through the lens of others' perceptions. But true magnetism, true power comes from a deep, unshakable connection with yourself. It's about creating an internal world so rich, so fulfilling, that external validation becomes a pleasant bonus, not a desperate necessity. Imagine the transformative journey of truly knowing yourself. This isn't about self-improvement as a performative act, but about deep, compassionate self-exploration. Every passion you pursue, every healing journey you undertake, every moment of self-reflection is an act of radical self-love. You're building a relationship with yourself that becomes the foundation for all other relationships, a relationship characterized by respect, compassion, and unconditional acceptance. 4. Leave before you're emptied. Detachment means walking away while you still love them, not after they've drained you dry and left you unrecognizable to yourself. Know your worth. Understand that walking away is not a failure, but an act of profound self-love. It's choosing yourself, your peace, your dignity over a relationship that does not honor your full, radiant self. This concept of leaving with love is perhaps the most transformative aspect of detachment. It challenges everything we've been taught about relationships. That love means sacrifice, that staying is always better than leaving. But true love, both for yourself and others, sometimes means having the courage to walk away. It's about recognizing that your energy, your spirit, your potential are sacred, and not everyone deserves access to them. Reflect on the profound wisdom of knowing when to release. This isn't about creating drama or playing games. It's about having such a deep respect for yourself that you're willing to make difficult choices. Walking away becomes an act of love, love for yourself, and ironically, love for the other person. You're refusing to participate in a dynamic that diminishes either of you, creating space for genuine growth and authentic connection. This isn't about manipulation or mind games. This is self-preservation in its purest form. It's about knowing, deep in your bones, that no person, no relationship, no desired outcome is worth your mental chaos or the slow erosion of your self-respect. And when that truth finally settles into your spirit, that's when you unlock a power so profound it reshapes every relationship you'll ever have. Consider this the ultimate masterclass in self-respect. You're not just learning a technique, you're rewiring your entire approach to love, connection, and personal worth. This is about creating a life where your peace is non-negotiable, where your energy is a precious resource, and where you move through the world with a sense of completeness that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Detachment is the ultimate act of self-love. It's standing in your truth and declaring, I will love you with my whole heart, but I will not lose myself in the process. I will cherish what we share, but I will not cling to what we don't. I will walk away with grace, not because my love was lacking, but because my standards are non-negotiable. Let's explore the profound depth of these declarations. This isn't just about creating boundaries, it's about fundamentally reimagining what love means. Our cultural narratives have long told us that love is about sacrifice, about losing ourselves, about becoming small to fit into someone else's expectations. But what if love is actually about expansion, about becoming more of yourself, not less? Imagine a love that doesn't diminish you, but amplifies your entire being. A love that sees your full, radiant self and celebrates it, rather than asking you to minimize or contort. This is the revolutionary promise of true self-love, a love so complete, so profound, that it becomes the foundation of every other relationship in your life. You're not just protecting yourself, You're creating a template for authentic and empowered connection. That, my loves, is how you move through dating, relationships, and life from a place of unshakable power. This is not about being hard or unfeeling. This is about being so deeply connected to yourself that you become unshakable. When you truly love yourself, you create a force field of self respect that naturally repels anything that doesn't align with your highest good. What? This is a radical act of self preservation that goes beyond traditional relationship advice. You're not just setting boundaries, you're rewriting the entire script of how love and connection work. You're declaring that your worth is inherent, not something to be earned or validated by external sources. Every choice becomes an act of self love, every boundary a declaration of your own magnificent worth. Welcome to your era of divine detachment, loves, where you love expansively but never desperately, where you hold others with open hands but yourself with fierce tenderness, and where your peace, oh, it's the most sacred thing you'll ever protect. Your peace is not a passive state. It's an active choice, a radical commitment to yourself that requires constant nurturing and protection. This is more than a journey. It's a profound transformation. You're not just learning a new approach to relationships, you're fundamentally restructuring your entire relationship with yourself. Each moment of detachment is a moment of deep healing, of reconnecting with your inherent worth, of choosing yourself with a love so profound it transforms everything it touches. Now go forth and love like the complete, radiant being you already are. Because, darling, you were never meant to be half of anything. You've always been the whole damn masterpiece. Your journey of detachment is not about building walls, but about creating beautiful, flexible boundaries that allow love to flow freely without losing yourself in the process. Consider this your invitation to a completely different way of existing. You're not just learning a technique, you're embarking on a revolutionary path of self discovery, self love, and authentic connection. Every step you take is a step towards a more empowered, more genuine version of yourself. Remember, true power lies not in controlling others, but in mastering yourself. Not in desperately clinging, but in gracefully letting go. Not in seeking validation, but in becoming your own most profound source of love and acceptance. You are worthy. You are enough. And you are absolutely unstoppable. These are not just words, they are a declaration, a promise, a revolution of the heart that begins and ends with you. Embrace it, live it, become it.